Recommended books to read if you have some free time. Versions of the Truth. A stunning legal thriller. Absolutely riveting according to the book list. Law school didn't prepare Rab for this. Even battlefield combat didn't. In a brutal Southwest courtroom trial, he had to use every trick of the legal trade and come up with a few new curves to try to get a rapist killer from the local Indian reservation off the hook. In bitter battle for a multi-million-dollar government contract, he had to keep a cool head even though he was having an affair with the daughter of a bidder. In a nest of vice and corruption south of the border, he had to stay out of the hands of a Mexican cop with a taste for cracking heads and breaking bones. With the corpses piling up around him and those he loved, Rav found that questions of guilt and innocence had turned into a matter of life and death. Read about versions of the truth. Enough suspense, shock, and surprise to keep you reading, according to the Los Angeles Times. Versions of the Truth. The Rainmaker by John Grisham. He's a young lawyer who does yard work in exchange for rent. Then one little case begins to explode. It's summer in Memphis. The sweat is sticking to Baylor's shirt and creditors are nipping at his heels. Once he had aspirations of breezing through law school and punching his ticket to the good life. Now he doesn't have a job or a prayer, except for one, an insurance dispute that leaves the family devastated and opens the door for a lawsuit. If Rudy can find a way to file it. The pace is fast, the characters quirky, the result entertaining, will be John Grisham's most popular novel since The Firm, according to USA Today. Great fun to read, the complex plotting is Grisham's major accomplishment, according to Los Angeles Times. By the time Rudy gets to court, a heavyweight corporate defense team is there to meet him. And suddenly he's in over his head, plunged into a nightmare of lies and legal maneuverings. A case that started small is exploding into a thunderous million-dollar war of nerve, skill, and outright violence. A fight that could cost one young lawyer his life or turn him into the biggest rainmaker in the land. So read about John Grisham's Rainmaker. John Grisham's Rainmaker. Another book by John Grisham, The Firm. I like to party at The Firm. LA Law meets The Godfather. The next book you'll see everybody reading the way we all carted around presumed innocent, according to USA Today. At the top of his class at Harvard Law, he had his choice of the best in America. He made a deadly mistake. When Mitch McDear signed on with Bendy Lambert at Lock of Memphis, he thought he and his beautiful wife Abby were on their way. The firm leased him a BMW, paid off his school loans, arranged a mortgage, and hired him a decorator. McDear should have remembered that his brother Ray, doing 15 years in a Tennessee jail, already knew. You never get nothing for nothing. Now the FBI has the lowdown on Mitch's firm and needs his help. Mitch is caught between a rock and a hard place with no choice if he wants to live. taut, fast, and relentless, a ride worth the taking, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, keeps the reader hooked from the creepy first chapters to the vice-tightening midsection and on to the take the money and run finale, the Wall Street Journal. Read all about the firm. The firm. The firm. Green Mars by Robertson. In the Nebula award-winning Red Mars, Kim Stanley Robinson began his critically acclaimed epic saga of the colonization of Mars. Now the Hugo Award-winning Green Mars continues the thrilling and timeless tale of humanity's struggle to survive at its farthest frontier. Nearly a generation has passed since the first pioneers landed, but the transportation of Mars to an Earth-like planet has just begun. The plan is opposed by those determined to preserve the planet's hostile, barren beauty. Led by rebels like Claiborne, these young people are the first generation of children born on Mars. They will be joined by original settlers, Tatvana, Fraser, Russell. Against the cosmic backdrop, passions, rivalries, and friendships explode in a story as spectacular as the planet itself. Read about one of the major sagas of the latest generation in science fiction, according to Chicago Sun-Times. Yet another masterpiece. I can't imagine anybody else staking out any portion of this immemorial dreamscape with the same elegant detail and thoroughness. It's now and for a long time to come the science fiction age. Winner of the 1994 Hugo Award for Best Novel. Well, this is not science fiction anymore. Probably never was. Green Mars. Green Mars. Winner of the 1994 Hugo Award for Best Novel. Green Mars by Robertson. One more book. Wolfwinter. A tour de force. Not a twist, not a turn is wasted, consistently superior, according to the Chicago Tribune. It is cold. Blood stains the snow on the Russia-Finland border. Two men and the woman who loves them both race against time to unravel a frozen web of intrigue and treachery that stretches from the Cold War back to the chill of the Nazi occupation. Read about Wolfwinter. Spy Chasing Suspense, Atlanta Journal and Constitution. Selected by the Book of the Month Club and the Reader's Digest Condensed Book Club. Read about Wolfwinter by Francis, the New York Times best-selling author of Night Sky. The spy thriller has rarely been better done, according to the New York Times. Wolfwinter by Francis. So these are all books you can read if you're bored and have nothing better to do. Books to read if you are bored and have nothing better to do.